Adam here from DirectionTrader.com. Let's do today's recap. We got about an hour left in the markets today, so I'm going to get this video out and get it posted to you so you can see going into this evening. Right now, let's look at crude in the S&P today. The crude right now is kind of acting like the S&P. The analysis I do on these are kind of going to be the same, but the crude had this big push down, gone into this consolidation once it tested some of this support that comes through here. Has some support on the dailies that's coming through here, caused the market to get a little bit choppy at this point. So a couple things. We're either waiting for another push to the downside on the crude. We got a little bit of some support here. After that, it is off to the races. We have a ton of open room here if we can break this support on the crude. Now, the same thing is going to be said for crude that I'm going to say for the S&P. It's weird. We're coming off of a nice little push down into this support area. We have these multiple areas of support that come through here, kind of this little zone, if you were to say. And there's a lot of similarities between the crude and the S&P. Basically, they've had a nice push down, and now they're just trying to decide whether or not they're going to push off. Now, this could be a very bearish and a very bullish sign, both of them, depending on how this thing is going to react when it breaks. Coming into support with some slowing momentum, you should be able to see a nice little bounce. But with that being said, it could also backfire, and if you get a little bit of a pause here before the main support level, it starts to catch steam, it'll just blast right on through any support area, and all these individuals who are looking to get long right at this support level are going to be kind of stuck looking at their stop orders as this market starts to trade back to the downside. Now, with that being said, let's go over to the S&P and let's show you the exact same thing that I'm talking about there. Let's go ahead and draw some of this resistance. I took it off here so we could draw it in here together. But we got a pretty clear, let me zoom in here, pretty clear area of resistance for the most part. The previous highs that you can see coming through here acted as a nice shelf in the past, and the market's just now pulling back. Yesterday I talked about the pullback in the S&P. The length of the pullback is very comparable to all the other pullbacks in the time of this up move. So we are coming into support here. Not only on from a technical standpoint are we at support, but also the length of pullback we're coming into support. But we're running into the same issue that we're running into with the crude. We're pulling back nicely, but it's slopping its way through, meaning it should be able to, I would guess tomorrow before the weekend, before people go into the weekend unsure of what's going on, I'm assuming it's going to make some type of move tomorrow, and I'm curious if it's going to get the bounce that we're looking for. I'm looking for another bounce here in the S&P, but it makes me a little weary whenever we come into, we're off this push-up, we come into support and we start to chop, because that's going to do either one thing, get a bounce like we would typically see it do, or it's going to pick up enough speed going into that support that it's going to blow right through that support, and people are going to be left scratching their head like, what in the world just happened? So I'm going to be very, very cautious going into tomorrow, because this is kind of one of them weird situations that you can get sucked into thinking, hey, this is a definite support, which I agree. This is a support and we're looking for a bounce here. But sometimes when it happens, if you get that support and you get a pullback and it doesn't get all the way back there and it starts to get choppy and things are indecisive, it can really pick up a lot of momentum and just blast right through any major support. And I'm afraid that could happen if we start to open up tomorrow. And if selling starts right before the weekend, I'm afraid that we could get a nice little pullback here and leave a lot of people scratching their heads. So be very careful going into tomorrow's trading. I don't think you're going to see a lot going into the rest of the day, but going into tomorrow, be very cautious. Wait, see which way the momentum is going to kick in. If you start to see some buying, I think we should see another bounce. But I would be a little bit careful if you start seeing some quick selling in tomorrow, a little momentum to the downside, because you may see one of them goalie washers that just blast through that support, and that's going to make you think twice next time you see this pattern. So big pullback going into chop just before support. Don't let it pick up some steam, because that's when you break the support. But overall, we should go ahead and see another pop to the upside. So watch out for tomorrow. Hope you like these videos, guys. If you have any questions, email me, adam@directiontrader.com. If not, have a good day, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.